Hey everybody, welcome back to the patio. It's Paranormal Paul. Happy Tuesday to you. Hope your week is going good. Hope it's better than mine. Um, just want to kind of bring you guys up to speed. I had a terrible toothache. Started Thursday. My dentist was closed on Friday. Went to see him Monday. Got a emergency appointment on Monday. Found out I had a root canal that was already done that was infected. So he put me on antibiotics Sunday. I felt better. Then I had to go to a specialist this morning. So, and the numbness is worn down, thank God. But boy, that was, I don't know if you guys have had dental work done before, but when they give you the shot, when a dentist gives you the shot to numb you up, which thank God they did today, they usually leave the needle in a little bit longer, like maybe a minute or so. Today, I had to see a specialist because I guess it was deep in there. He left it in for a good 5 minutes, and I'm laying there. Oh my God, it hurt so bad. But once that took effect, then everything was fine. Just felt them drilling and stuff. Felt pressure. Numbness is all pretty much gone. No pain, just a little headache from all the pressure and everything. So, but we're back on track. But anyway, we're back to the patio. Last week I didn't have anything and wasn't prepared, so we didn't have the show. But this week we're good to go. I have a great guest lined up, Robert Perez from KAM. That's Kansas, Arkansas, and Missouri Paranormal Investigators. Looking forward to him coming on here in just a few seconds. Hi, Crystal. Hey, Fisher. Hey, Jason. Hi, Pam. Anybody else joining in here? I'll try and keep up with the chat as much as I can today. But anyway, I want to mention a couple things to you. If you guys like to get some Paranormal Among Us merchandise, going over to Purple Penguins. Hey, Valerie. Purple Penguins Crafts and Creations. They have have it all lined up on the bottom of their webpage. Just scroll on down, and Jenny will take care of you and get stuff sent out to you. Also, I'm not quite there to. There we go. Not quite there to have be monetized on Facebook, but if you would like to support the show in any way, the Venmo account is going to be scrolling down there on the bottom of the screen. Any donations would be greatly appreciated. You don't have to, of course. That is perfectly fine. It's not expected, but it would be appreciated. And thank you all. And again, I thank you all for tuning in so far today. It's going to be a great show, like I said. And also, one more thing before we get to Robert. If you guys have any paranormal stories that you would like to share, please email me at paranormalamongus72@gmail.com. And then I can either read your stories on a future episode, or if you want to come on the show and tell some of your stories, just like Robert here. So, all right, you see my dog's running around in the background. Hopefully she doesn't do anything nasty. She's been eating cicadas left and right, so hasn't gotten sick. I heard they're good protein, but I also heard they bad for dogs. But anyway, enough about me. Let's bring Robert up. Hey, Robert, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome.
And
Thanks for coming on kind of short notice here.
yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it trying to get the name out there of our group, which is KAM, and it's good to share stories with people and let everybody know what we caught if we didn't catch anything, or hey, it's always good to share, and you could be the last one to decide on if you believe it or not.
Right.
So
And like I tell all my guests, either on screen or backstage, this is a safe zone. People decide what they want to decide. If they want to believe any of the stories that are on here, that's great. If they don't want to believe it, that's great too. Just be nice about it, be cool about it. So, I love hearing all these stories. I was looking on your YouTube page last night and today, and you've been to some pretty cool places. One place that we have in common is Athmore Estates. I saw that you were there, and I was just there a couple weekends ago. That
Yes.
was actually the first paranormal investigation, so that was pretty cool. Um, before we get into your stories and stuff that you've seen and heard and done, tell us a little bit about your page and how you got started, and go from there.
Well, I'm I'm one of the newest members of the group. Um, it's Devin, Pam, and Dave, which Devin and Pam live in Arkansas. Dave lives in Kansas, and then of course I live in here in Missouri. There's a couple other members that live here in Missouri, and we came out. We're still new, pretty much about a year and a half, almost 2 years, and my dog is barking too outside. Um, so yeah, fairly new, but with everybody's experience, doing the public ghost events to, having stuff happen at their jobs, getting
Mhm.
together and, finally saying, hey, you know, that's how the group came about. That's why they made it into a group. And I'm honored to be part of the group because it is the extended family,
Yeah,
so, and me being from California, being here for about uh, going on 9 years now. Um, Sometimes that's as close as family as you get instead of being in California for my standpoint, because I don't have really family members out here close enough. So they're like my family.
exactly. And
Yeah.
going through these haunted locations, you guys go through a lot, and kind of have to have each other's back too. So I can see where,
Yes.
yeah, they become family, closer than
Yes.
friends sometimes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how did you personally get involved in the paranormal stuff?
Oh man, that's now you're gonna ask that kind of question to me. That's it's
Hard
it,
nosed journalism right here.
yes, no. I started back when I was younger, just going. This is now I'm gonna give away my age. Pretty much back when I was in high school, so 93, 94. Um, Going to cemeteries in California. One of them was Spadra, which is it's closed to the public. It is on private property, but when you're young and dumb and don't know the rules and just want to go do your own thing, um,
Exactly.
so we went there, and that's where went to the cemetery, and they have a big old tomb. You know, um, it's a headstone, but it's huge. You go by it, California, it's summer year round. You could touch it, and it was like 110 degrees. And this is at midnight.
Hmm.
So um, it's underneath the shade. I don't understand. Maybe there's enough little rays from the sun that gets in to make it hot. But of course, you're younger saying, whoa, what is that? Is that an evil place? Um, so we went there. I went there and had acorns thrown at us, and there's no acorns anywhere there.
Really?
So it's one of those places to where when I did my history on it, it used to be an old mineral mines.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of people, you know, went crazy there. A lot of murders there. Spadra, the city, it's called Spadra, which it's not. It's still a city there, but it's not really a city because there is no postmark, there's no post office, there's nothing. It's just Spadra. And if everybody says, "Oh, you've been to Spadra," they're all like, "Oh, where's that at?" Well, it's between the 57 freeway and the 10 freeway, and it's in between. Yeah, it's a hard place to get to. But yeah, that's where it first started. Took another group out there. Went out there, checked it out, and I just got involved. His name was Dave Taylor. That actually said, "Why don't you come with me?" And this is when we had shows on regular community channels.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, "Why don't you come with me? And we're going to start doing this on the community channel." We did like 2 episodes, and then they closed down all the pretty much that station that we were under there. But yeah, that's where it started for me, and got to see some amazing stuff with my own eyes.
Okay.
Cabinet doors opening up at an old
Oh
schoolhouse
wow.
in California, to seeing bringing stuff home with me, where
Ooh.
yeah, and that was, and see, it's not their attachments. I didn't know back then. I know now how to, you know, keep them there.
Mm-hmm.
I started learning more about sage, using sage, telling them, hey, you can't come with me. You're staying here. We're just here to investigate you. So throughout my whole years, now I'm not giving you my age, but throughout my whole years, when I ended up here in Missouri, um, my first one here in Missouri was actually uh, the Val Mansion, before they stopped giving public events, and or went with Apex. Went in there,
Oh,
caught
okay.
an apparition going upstairs. Try to debunk it. We did everything that we could. I heard it from, oh man, that was your camera. It was on this, and that's fine. But for me to feel it was a different story. Every room that I've been into that I know that there is something there, or I feel like there's something there,
Yeah.
um, 9 out of 10 times we either catch um, orbs, but everybody's like, "Oh, that's dust. You go into museums, yes," or we catch something talking back to us, catch EVPs,
Mm-hmm.
different stuff. So different experiences everywhere that I've been, here in Missouri, or should I say the Midwest, because that's, you know, going from Arkansas, to Kansas, to Missouri, and they Illinois, so we go to different places, which is great for a brand new group. Um, got in touch with a lot of people here. It's a small community.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody from here and all that. So
Yep.
I
Yep.
feel like I feel the greatest thing is we all have some kind of common together, either a ghost experience, or um, you know we all have something in common when we're doing ghost adventures. So it's a big giant family. The community is very small, and I love it here. I love everything about it. Why I do ghost adventures or go out and do my own investigation. It's the thrill of,
I agree.
well, what is there?
I
Wait,
agree.
my eyes are here and I don't see anything, but I hear something.
Yep.
So it's fun. You know, yeah, that's pretty much. I like to talk, as you could tell, but I guess that's why. I
That's
guess that's why you're a host, and you bring in a guest, and I like to tell people stuff. So
hey, that's great. We love hearing from our guests and stuff. And I heard from the very beginning when I started doing this podcasting several years ago that if you have a guest that likes to talk, let him go. They're gonna tell good stories. Just I would only get in the way. Before we go any further, Shelly Montgomery, hi, how you doing? I got your video finished, Shelly. Email me Paranormal Longa 72. It's very interesting. I don't want to say any more, but it's very interesting, Shelly. So send me an email and I'll get you that video. Anyway, um, you mentioned seeing a bunch of orbs earlier on pictures and stuff, and I was went to Ashmore that one time, and I took a couple pictures, and I had orbs, or what I thought was orbs, and I was like a little kid in a candy store. I would take a picture, I would run over to the more experienced investigators, Krista and Terry Mosby were there, and I would show, hey, look what I got, look what, and Chris, real quick, oh, that's dust. I'm like,
Yeah,
come
that's
on. But it's good to know, right off the bat that I have that, and I'm always looking for something. And you said like we're a tight knit family here. We're all trying to do the same thing. We're
yeah.
trying to figure out what's out there. Is this, are all these spirits and ghosts that we're seeing and hearing, is all this stuff real? Is things being thrown at us, is that real? And people can believe what they want to believe, but I for
Mhm.
one think it is real.
Yep.
So I'm enjoying finding out too.
Yeah, and see, with that being said, um, yeah, I, I believe I believe that that there is ghosts out there. Okay, um, when you have, and the great thing about with Cam, we had a police officer, and this is going back into a story. We had a police officer that came out when we were at the Air Museum in Arkansas, and they came out because he people were driving by and you're seeing lights and people with cameras and, oh, what's going on there? So what they do, great community, call the cops, and um, the cops showed up, and he's like, oh, what are you guys doing here? And then they got in touch with the people that run the place, and he's like, well, I already talked to them, you guys are all good and all that stuff, but what are you guys doing? We invited him over to see what we're doing, and um, he is now part of our group because he was
Awesome.
like, wow, I just thought it was all, like entertainment stuff, but now I'm seeing it with my own eyes. It's different, having lights turn on command. Can you turn this light green? Our REM pod and all that. Can you touch this? And they're
Yep.
doing it. And he's like, wait a minute. Is it my radio? Is it, this and that? We're trying to debunk everything. But at the
Exactly.
end of the day, uh, it is still turning on. You
Hmm.
could say whatever you want to say. That's but if we could turn someone and say, hey, okay, it could be something out there. Okay, there either is or not. Just like people believe that the Earth is flat. Why? I don't know. I believe it's
Yep.
round, but I'm not going to knock them because of what they believe in. So it is the greatest thing to be able to say, well, I've seen with my own eyes, and I'm getting
Hmm.
attacked by bugs out here. Um, when you could see it with your own eyes, and well, I seen it. I seen this happen. Are you sure? Do you have any proof of it? Okay, I could show you a recording, but then what are people like to do is nitpick. Well, it was this, it was that, it was this.
Exactly.
Okay, so at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they think. If you're doing it for fun, great. Of course, we're not making any money. Everybody would like to be a billionaire and to do all this stuff. Look at, I caught this ghost.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's a most expensive hobby
Yeah. I,
that you
I
could.
I agree. I haven't really got into buying a whole lot of equipment.
Yeah,
Really, the only thing that I bought was cat balls right now.
yep,
So it's I've been using the camera on my cell phone, and that seems to work just fine.
yep.
Um, and borrowed somebody else's stuff. Um, and I don't know how about you or anybody else really, but I started out watching like Ghost Adventures or stuff on TV, and now I'm to the point where I only like watching that stuff for the history of
Yep.
wherever they're at. And
Yeah.
I'm sure they over sensationalize what they find. Um,
So
but I like you said, like getting stuff for my own proof, and
mhm.
know me personally, know that I'm not fudging anything.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? And the great thing, I'm not, Ghost Adventures, all the other ones. I'm glad that they got their their niche and their thing. This is our thing. This is what we have. And if the public loves it, and we start, getting sponsors, great.
Exactly.
But if not, end of the day, I enjoy what I'm doing. Just that's why I cook, because I enjoy cooking.
Mhm.
I enjoy doing all this stuff, and I enjoy it until it becomes a job and I don't have fun. I will stop.
Exactly.
That's
And
that's
my
what.
dad once said that you got to love what you do, and
Mhm.
whether it's working or a hobby like this, you got to love it. And it's I love it, and I like talking with people who love doing this stuff. And a lot of the people in chat today and other shows and stuff that I've seen that I'm on, they love it too. So
Yeah.
as long as they're still there, I'm still more than happy to do this stuff and have fun doing it.
Oh yeah.
So let let's start out talking about Ashmore, since we both have that one in common. Um,
Okay.
you've been there, haven't you?
I have it. The group has.
Okay.
That was one where I got stuck at work. Of course, I have
Oh,
to work one weekend out of the month. I got to work the
no.
weekend. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go. But you know what? I seen a lot of their stuff that they had on there, um,
Uh-huh.
and you guys could check it out on our YouTube channel, which is KAM Paranormal and all that stuff. Look at everything, because we give evidence, and then
Mhm.
at the end of everything, you guys are the ones that make the judgment,
Exactly.
and that's what it's about.
Exactly.
They did catch some stuff, experience wise with them. I guess it was some knocks, REM pods.
Hmm.
Um, a
You
couple
know,
of our members. Go ahead.
Ashmore wasn't a scary place at all. And today in the chat, Shelly and Crystal were both there. I don't know if Crystal's still watching or not, but they were both there. It's a really non-scary place except for one room, the boiler room there. But I think we all had some good evidence that we captured. We were doing a live show that night from Ashmore. Krista and I had something thrown, not at us, but a rock was hit the wall
Hmm.
or something, and there was nobody else around that could have done that. Um, and later on in the night, I was down in the boiler room, had some knocks. Somebody grunted that wasn't around us. It was just me and somebody else, and we both heard it. Neither one of us did it.
Hmm.
Um, and then we didn't hear this that night, but when I was looking at the video, I can't remember what I was saying, but I heard somebody with a really creepy voice say, "We're watching," and I heard that upstairs here, and I'm like, "Whoa, that's cool." So I mean that again, believe what you want to believe. I did
Yeah.
not touch it. I just enhanced the audio, tuned it up. Somebody was watching us that night. So
Yeah, that's with that place, that is on my bucket list. I know on Saturday when you do your other show, you guys were talking about where would you want to go. Her name was Krista, correct?
yes.
Yes. I know she mentioned Tombstone, and
Hmm.
I got married. I got married in Tombstone.
Really?
So yes. So I went to the birdcage. That was the second time I was there. Um, I went with my new wife, and we went there. We took a tour of every place, and I was like, "This is on my bucket list, just to do an investigation."
Hmm.
Because with me, I will not go into a certain room because everybody's like, "Well, I'm sensitive." Okay, I will put my back against the wall and say I am not going to leave myself open for anybody to
Right.
attach to me. So I will put myself against the wall, and I'll do my investigation. If I start breathing really hard like that, then it's like, okay, I need to get out of here, because I feel like something's getting closer and all that fun stuff. But anyways, I couldn't go into two rooms, one at the birdcage, because it's really a small. It's not that big,
Hmm.
but I would not even break. I would not even step my foot in that room at all, and that's why I told my wife. I said, for our 10-year anniversary, which is going to be coming uh, next year. We're going back,
Oh wow.
and I am going to do a couple places there because it's a beautiful town. All the stories, all the movies, it does Tombstone does it justice, but being there in person, um, it's a whole different experience,
Yeah.
and just to go out there and do it. And she also mentioned Ray County Museum.
Yep.
We did that one on Memorial Day.
Awesome.
So yeah, so we did get some evidence that it's not out yet. We're still working on it because it doesn't take like 2 days and we'll have everything done. It takes a couple days.
You know,
So
I just from that one that I did, one experience that I had, it takes, and I didn't shoot a whole lot of video. I mean, we were doing lives most of the night, so I was working that way, but and I didn't record anything on my phone doing those lives. But the stuff that I did record, I mean, you can't just fast forward through things at a half speed or whatever. You have to sit and watch it
yep,
and listen very carefully.
yes,
Because I mean,
yes,
if we didn't, and I wouldn't have heard we're watching. Um, and then this is something completely different. Shelly sent me some video of a UAP that she had caught. I guess outside of her house. I'm not sure exactly where, but I couldn't zoom through that at regular speed. I slowed it way down, and I found a bunch of other
yeah,
UAPs on there. So it was pretty cool. So I mean, yeah, you
yeah,
have to take your time going through this stuff.
yeah. We did when we were there. We were there for I think about 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Great location. If anybody out there is listening, if you have a chance, not just to go do ghost adventures or anything like that, but go take a look at the museum. They have a lot of stuff there, just like the Air Museum in Arkansas. They have a ton of stuff there. But um, Ray County Museum, I think that was it was a great adventure. We did got some names. We
Mm-hmm.
heard some sounds. Um, we did we did another a Tesla experience there,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
we did catch some stuff. Unfortunately, I have sausage fingers, so on my video camera, um, I carry it with me whenever I go anywhere. I'll be recording all the time, so I was recording it and saw a ball. It wasn't a size. It wasn't like a little orb. Dusts are small. Sometimes they look kind of big. This one was the size of a basketball. Float
Wow.
down the hall. I'm hoping that our CCTV did catch it.
Yeah.
Once it's up, it will be one for the books because I had exciting time there, um, and all different stuff happened to different individuals. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody has their own stories, which is great when you go in a group, you
Yeah.
know.
Definitely.
Um, but yeah, that Ray County, if you guys ever have a chance to go there, that was one that I was very impressed to learn about the history on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because before I go, and I'm starting to do this now even more. Um, Try to find out the history of okay, so instead of hearing stories from everyone else, oh well, I caught something there. Okay, I listened to that, but I don't listen to it
Right.
until I get the history down. So I
Right.
could start putting my own puzzle together. And then once we get the puzzles all in and we put it together, we either come up with a great picture or a great picture of a corner because we didn't catch the whole thing. You have to go more than once there. Like, oh, I did it before and I caught this. There's nothing else there. How do you know? So that's why I said we're going to probably go back and do that one again. Um, but if you guys do have a chance, that is one for the books for you guys that I highly recommend that you guys go there and take the tour, donate money there.
Krista, my co-host on Saturday, she's part of Blondes and Booze Paranormal Podcast on Thursday and Friday, and they do a lot of events over the years at Ray County Museum, and I know she's talked about going back there sometime this year. So I plan on being there. That's one place that I would like to see from hearing all her stories. And I had Stephanie O'Reilly from McIntyre Villa on last weekend. I think that's one of that's going to be on my bucket list to go see that one. Have you been to McIntyre?
I have not. There's a lot of places that I want to go, and when we try to do it as a group, if I go individually, you know, I would go by myself, but I rather have the whole group there. And once we all sit down and we put on the calendar who could go, who can't go, it's good to go with my team, and that's with my team personally. Like when I went with Apex to the Villa Mansion, I went there as a public event. And then after that, they're like, hey, you need to come back because what you caught was pretty amazing. So I went back and, hung out with them. We went to a couple other places, talked to them and all that stuff. Got to know them. Elijah's great. And Ed is great. I think those two are great people and all that stuff. And so they were my first group that I ever hung out. I wasn't part of the group, but I got to meet people in this community that go out there. So it's great. There's a lot of good places.
And Pam just shared your YouTube channel in the chat. I have it pinned up on the top. So, guys, head on over there. Shelly has already said that she's going to check that out. They have some great stuff on there. I was looking at stuff that you did. I think it was from Ashmore, since I'm kind of connected to that one. Check out, they did some great stuff on McIntyre. That looked awesome. And I'm looking forward to checking out some more stuff. Over there too. So again, their link is in the chat, pinned on top of the chat, and Pam just put it up there. There it is, right there. So feel free to head on over there, check them out, subscribe.
Hi, Pam. Sorry,
I got great moderators, and great people in the chat. We like supporting good people too. So it's not available. Well, I'll put it in the show notes on this show, and then we'll get it out. I don't know why it's not available. That's really bizarre. Because I copied it straight from.
That is.
Yeah, there's their link again. If those links don't work, I'll get the link out there, and we'll get it for you. So.
Okay, so I have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I have a question. Have you been anywhere in the Kansas City area? Anywhere around where I'm at in Independence?
No. We are going to Malvern Mansion in Iowa in July sometime. Okay, Shelly said it worked now, so they got your link. But no, I mean, there's. I want to go to McIntyre, which is in Atchison, Kansas. I have heard about the Shelly House. Is it the Shelly House that's in Kansas? It's in Atchison. Sally House.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm looking at Shelly Montgomery's comment. I've heard some nasty things about that place. I don't know that I want to see that.
Yeah, you know what? I I know Krista did mention last week on Saturday that she wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there. I drove by there because we went to the Dillinger house that is like literally 2 blocks away from the Sally house. And we went in there, and that was a very interesting place. Um, all the houses there in Atchison, it's like limestone. All the basements made out of limestone. So limestone is, I guess spirits like to hang out in limestone. So, but it's easier for them, like portals, to go back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting place that I've been to. Uh, I couldn't go in the basement. I took one for the team, and I walked in the basement, and Pam was there, and Pam was like, "Are you all right?" I was like, "I'm taking one for the team," and I went in there and I stuck it out. But the Dillinger house is actually, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. It's a very thin house. So if someone that is on the third floor um, burps, farts, or their stomach makes a noise, you'll be able to hear it in the basement.
Okay.
You're all like, "Oh, that's gross," but it's the
Well,
truth.
hey, I mean,
It's
stuff like that happens.
yeah, no, it's true. But
Just ask my wife. Stuff like that happens.
yeah, but
Uh,
there's that's a good place to go to if you have a chance to go out there. I liked it. Man, there's so many places that you could go around here. Um, if
what?
if you have, go ahead, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was
I
gonna
think
say
you're
if
going to
you
answer the question anyway.
okay, so if you have a chance, Independence here they have the Jackson County Jail, 1859 jail, here in Independence on the square. Um, we're going there. I did do a walkthrough. Um, that place is it's pretty nice. The museum is a nice museum. There's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of artifacts. So if there's spirits there, we don't know if it's going to be from the jail itself
Yeah.
or part of the attachments from the artifacts. That's a good place. And we're going that one. I believe it's August 10th. Um, I think it is August 10th. We're going out that way. So if you're in town, you're more than welcome to come and join us, and you could do a live thing with us if you want. It's a good place. So if you ever have a chance, um,
Yeah.
on the ghost side, never seen stuff on the ghost side yet because I haven't did a ghost adventure there. But the stories, the people that get the tours there, the stories that they were telling me, I was like in a movie theater just eating popcorn, like, oh yeah, I can't wait. Um, so that's good. That's good when you're able to talk to people that actually work there, give their experience there too. So
And getting back to your the limestone, Shelley says that's interesting, Robert. A lime quarry is where I witnessed orangish red pulsating orb over trees. Very interesting.
yeah,
Very
that
interesting.
is
Yeah.
that's I believe in that. Again, Atchison was they build a lot. They build a lot of homes there. A lot of
Yeah.
basements are made out of, limestone. Not just only in Atchison, but anywhere on the Kansas side, anywhere on the Missouri side. If you go into a basement and there is like stone, you could see stone. It's like, oh boy. And that's what I do. Like when I bought my house here,
Mm-hmm.
I the first thing I looked at was, is there any stone in the basement? And the realtor lady goes, why? I said, no, 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 just asking. She goes, oh, no, no, it's all cement. And I was like, okay, I'm good to buy this house then. Because I don't
Yeah.
need nothing to come, any spirits to come in and say, hey, how you doing? Because I get freaked out. I get freaked out. Even when I go on adventures and all that stuff, I do get freaked out. You scare me. You can walk up from behind, scare me. I'll be like, hold on, let me get my breath. Um,
Yeah.
so So there's a lot of good places. My theory on that, it's, limestone was here before anyone started digging it up. Of course, all the Midwest, there's a lot of Indian Indian stuff around here.
Yeah.
So this whole place, that's why it's me being born in California, LA, East LA, living in Bell Gardens to La Puente and all that stuff. California was, yes, it's beautiful there. You got the beaches, beautiful, 70 degrees year round. But I never seen seasons until I moved here to the Midwest.
Yeah.
And
If they always say, at least here in St. Louis, if you don't like the weather, wait about a half an hour,
half
it'll change.
hour, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's seems like how it is around the Midwest.
yeah. So, but limestone everywhere.
Yeah, and limestone, that kind of material, I guess, just absorbs all the energy from the past, and it's there all the time. And Pam even said that they may be able to harvest the energy in that area, so that's probably pretty true. That's probably pretty true.
And it's like just a big old beta or laser disc that wants to keep on playing and playing. And yeah, now I'm really giving you guys my age on that one, talking about beta and all that stuff.
So you kind of hinted to that. I got you by a couple years. I graduated high school in 1990, so I got you by a couple years there, buddy.
Only by 2 years. So yeah, my wife was born. I like older women. My wife is 2 years older than me. So
my wife's 9 months older than me, so I'm the same way. So I got a question here from Pam. She said, "What is your favorite paranormal experience?"
Okay, mine. Wow, man. They're
whether you're on an investigation or if you're just out someplace and something happens, what was your favorite?
My favorite one was, okay, and this is going back there was, man, see that's an open, that's okay. Do I talk about the Midwest because I live here now, or do I say, well, in California? So the two highest ones that I could say, one of them was in California, where this lady, we were talking in the kitchen at this church, and she's like, "Oh, so you believe in ghosts, Robert?" And I was like, "Yeah, there is something out there, And she goes, "Watch this. Hey, Crystal, can you open that cabinet door?" And all of a sudden, the cabinet, on demand. And I was like, and I was, after that, I was like, wow, that was the greatest. If I was on Ghost Adventure, I would have a Zach face, I guess.
Or was it Aaron?
Aaron, yeah. It's one of those. It was one of those experiences that I seen there. Here, I guess it would have to be when I was with when I took the picture with at the Villa Mansion. I can't explain it. I can't, like, there was nothing on the set, but then I just turned, and the greatest thing about that story is me and my friend, we got in an argument because he was telling me, "Hey, my cousin committed suicide outside the mansion." I was looking at him. I said, "Well, wouldn't they know that? Wouldn't the people that are hosting this say, yeah, well, there's someone died on the property, blah, 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 this and that?" I go, "No one mentioned that. No one said," and we're bickering at each other. And I said, "You know what? The, HE double hockey stick with you." And I turned around and I took a picture just going upstairs. And that's when I caught the person walking upstairs. Right then, I could tell you what we talked about, right? I could tell you where I just pointed my my cell phone, and I took it, those are great moments. Now, with the KAM team, with my own eyes, seeing the cop, asking questions, turn on lights, that was with my team. That was the greatest thing. There you go. I did the right thing, Pam. Wink, wink. But we did a lot. We covered a lot. We've seen a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff we can't explain.
Yeah.
With the group. But those were the three. The three. I gave you three prime example. What about yours?
Mine?
Yes.
See, you're not supposed to ask questions from the to the because I'm not
And I,
prepared.
no, and
Um,
I understand that.
no, I'm kidding. I've had a couple. Um, like I said, Ashmore was my first ghost hunt. Hey, Pancho, how you doing, buddy? Ashmore was my first ghost hunt. Being down in that boiler room and having someone whisper in the mic that I found out later we're watching, I think that was pretty cool. I didn't feel a thing. I think that was really super cool, and having things thrown at me, that was pretty cool. Um, Something else that actually happened here at the house, and I've kind of noticed that since I've started with this podcast, which I started March of 23, things things have been happening more to me here, to me and my wife here. Nothing nasty, but actually years ago, my wife saw the Hat Man in our house. Um, I've had my father. I've smelled his cologne kind of drift on by when I'm down in the basement. But really, so far those are really the only things that I've personally experienced outside of Ashmore and stuff, and uh, hearing that voice and having bells being rung when I'm asking them to, and having cat balls light up when I'm asking them to. That was pretty cool, pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have used the Estes method before, but we did that at Ashmore, and hearing the voices that were coming through. Um, when I was on it, I didn't get many voices, but I heard some. But other people, hearing the voices, intelligent responses that we were
Yeah.
getting was just
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. So with you saying what your wife said, and you're seeing the hat person and all that stuff, it actually it it kind of got me thinking. Um, with my group, CAM, we did the Arkansas Air Museum and all that stuff. Um, they went there once without me. Okay, they went there once before, which it was like in January, and I couldn't go. Long story short, I couldn't go. They went out there. They had some experience. We have a member in our team that is also sensitive to stuff. I guess he went into the same room. He went into one of the rooms in there and was drawn to one of the rifles that they have there, right? So I didn't know that. I didn't talk to him. I didn't do anything. So when I experienced when we went there last, um, we went into the back office that they have, and it's actually right by the airport where you could see some planes taking off and leaving and blah blah blah.
Where
And
was
we
this at?
walked. This was in Arkansas, the Arkansas Air Museum.
Okay.
And so we walked into the room. We walked in. No one said nothing to me, and I automatically started breathing like whoa. Like the energy in there for me was so. It was so charged for me.
Wow.
And we walked in, and I'm standing back, and they're like, "Hey, you all right?" Hey, yeah. And and we have a little joke going on and with our group. If I'm having a heart attack, I'm going to yell watermelon. Okay, that's my safe word, watermelon.
Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, we just lost. Oh, there you go.
I had a phone
There
call.
you go.
Yes.
That
Okay.
scared me
Sorry
for a
about
second
that.
because you were
I had
talking about a heart attack, and then all of a sudden your screen went blank. Like, oh god.
so watermelon. So what ended up happening was we walked in there, and the safe word that I use, like if I'm going to have a heart attack anywhere, you'll hear me yell watermelon.
Okay.
Okay, and that's our safe word, right? But that was a joke going on between us. But we walked in there, and I walked in and started feeling all this energy, started feeling, like started hyperventilating a little bit and, slowing myself down. And I was getting drawn to the rifle with the white stripe.
Oh,
Okay. And
yeah.
I went in there and I said, there's something with this rifle. Afterwards, we were done. They said, did you know you just went to the same rifle that George was pulled to? And you pointed exactly to it. And I was like, really? They're all like, yeah. So now we're like, when we did the Ray County Museum and all that stuff, um, one room in particular, I don't like. I didn't want to go in there. I had someone staring at me in one of the pictures that was following me everywhere I went. Didn't want to go in there. George felt the same thing, but on the other side of the room, which these rooms are right next door to each other. I said, it
Mhm.
can't, doesn't mean that it can't go through walls. It means that there's something there. So yes, that brought up when you talked about, your wife seeing that. I was like, oh, you know what? That's right. I do have another experience too. Um, but with your house, I'm going to just throw this out there. How you said the last couple time, couple months, been seeing some little strange stuff here and there. A lot of times, I'm a firm believer in the sixth sense.
I think you got another phone call.
I apologize for that.
Oh, no
Yes,
problem.
it's bad when you're using your iPhone. Um, you
Live TV.
know, yes. So what ends up happening is once you open up that third eye,
Mm-hmm.
your sixth sense, you start tending to start noticing a little bit more stuff like peripheral visions. Well, I seen something back there, but there's nothing back there. You
Yeah.
know, you could be starting to open up a little bit to start seeing stuff, to start hearing stuff like that. I know what a
Mm-hmm.
house sounds like when it's old and it creaks. You know what I mean? Those are steps. I know what steps sound like. Stuff like that. You could start opening up yourself to like, okay, now you're starting to pay attention to that sixth sense that you may have.
I totally agree with that, and I really I do believe that is what is happening, and
Yeah.
every now and then, I think I see something out of the corner of my eye, like you suggested.
Hmm.
It's we have the blinds, and it could have been something flying past the blinds. Who knows what it is, and also, I mean, by doing this show and talking to other people about all this stuff, I keep kind of going back over my life and realizing that some other stuff has happened to me that I didn't even pay attention to.
Yeah.
I remember in one house that I was living at, actually in the city of St. Louis. It was a pretty old house. It was actually the house my mom grew up in. My bedroom was right by the basement steps. And I don't know if I was dreaming this or not, but I remember waking up in the middle of the night, hearing the basement door open very slowly and seeing the door in my doorway. I was frozen in fear.
Mm.
I couldn't move. I guess it was sleep paralysis or something. Um,
Wow.
Luckily, nothing happened. I didn't see any apparition come through, or luckily, no person was through, came through and did anything to me. But I can't say for sure if that was a spirit or if I was just dreaming. So
Yeah, but that and that's
Of course, in my head, I'm saying it was a spirit.
yeah. But see, that's where I think that's why we're all doing this,
Yeah,
because you don't know what it is. We don't know
exactly.
what it is, and if you see it with your own eyes,
Hmm.
and okay, think about 80s, 90s. They had That's Incredible and all these shows and all that stuff, and all they were going off of were stories. And then when they did that big old story with the Sally House and how they did the documentaries, um, and they started seeing stuff and now it's like, okay, wait a minute. And that's why I'm glad that people aren't afraid to talk about it now.
Yeah.
Before, yeah, you're crazy, you must be on drugs, or I don't know, you might have a couple of screws loose. I
Hmm.
think we all do have screws loose sometimes, but you know what, if this person has a similar experience than you, does that mean that they're crazy too?
Or they're
Don't
normal.
know. Or they're
Yeah.
normal,
Yeah.
because yeah.
And
So
like Shelly does, like Shelly just said here, that's why you guys do these spaces that helps others, and
yeah.
that's why we bring guests on and tell stories and stuff like that. And um, like BMR with his Bigfoot experience that he had many years ago. He was kind of in the dark, didn't have anywhere to turn, and he started talking about it, and boom, all of a sudden, he's helping people with it.
Yeah.
I believe that many years ago with UFOs and stuff, people were afraid to talk about it, and especially like pilots, commercial airline pilots, that they'd be fired or whatever if
Yeah.
they would come out and talk about the UFOs that they see. And nowadays, it seems pretty common that oh yeah, I saw something the other day up here. Um, so yeah, I think certainly the times are changing and people are more comfortable coming out and talking about their experiences. And people just, for the most part, I should say, um, don't ridicule them like they used to many
Yeah.
years ago.
Or I'm just going to give you a real quick, because I don't know how long you have left on this show. It's just like deja vu.
Yeah,
Deja vu. I believe in deja vus, and was it in a dream or was I here before?
exactly.
That's the biggest thing that we don't know. You know, I it's just questions that I want to answer them for everybody. I
Yeah.
want to be able to say that this is it. This is $1 million question.
Yep.
But I guess that's why we do the stuff that we do. And
And,
I appreciate you having me on here.
oh,
And
it was my pleasure having you on. I'm glad you mentioned something last week on in the chat and
yeah,
reached out to me. And again, this is something you said before. We're all in this together.
yep,
Um, there's no one thing. I was in broadcasting many years ago, and it's so competitive to be the first one out with a story, to be have the whatever, have the scoop on something. That's not the case here. I mean, it's to bring the truth to people. And somebody that I really admire, Barton Nunnelly, always says there's no point in lying. Everything that we say is the truth. And believe what you want to believe. Really, we can't make you believe what we see or hear. Just know that stuff that I put out, stuff that you guys put out, we don't fabricate anything.
yeah,
It's 100% true. And the stuff, I can only speak for me, the stuff that I have from Ashmore and the stuff that I'm going to have from other places in the future is going to just be enhanced. It's not going to
yeah.
be fabricated at all. And I personally, I'm not a liar anyway,
Mm.
so I wouldn't even go down that path. But
Yeah, that's one thing that you know what, I tell the truth. Um, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything to anybody. If I don't feel anything in here, or if I don't think that there is something in here, or there's no point to it. There is no need. It's just like man, just let's just live life. And if you want to go do this, go do this. If you like cars, go build cars. Go if you like this, go do. Have fun. Life is too short.
Exactly. And be kind to everybody. That's
Yep.
one of the things that I always say. So
Yep.
well, Robert, like I said before, I greatly appreciate you coming on here. We're all in this together, my friend.
Yep.
And I another thing that I've really enjoyed meeting new people. I've been invited all over the place. All of a sudden, I've been invited to Minnesota, up northeast. I'm in northeast. I've been invited out by you guys, and it's one of these days we're gonna all hook up and have a good old time and investigate stuff together, and that'll be
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
So
That will.
yeah.
Um, Again, thank you, everybody. Thank you out there. Of course, I'm on my iPhone and all that stuff, so I couldn't see any of the stuff going on. Um, I appreciate what you do. Again, you
Likewise.
can find us. You can find us on Facebook,
Mhm.
Cam, Cam Paranormal, or you can find us on Instagram, and you can follow us too on TikTok. Um, and wow, am I missing anything?
There's so
Yeah,
many
no,
so many
exactly. There's
different social medias. Just look up KAM Cam
yep,
on any of them, and you'll find them. And like we
yeah,
said, I have the link on the chat. Pam and I both put it out there. Um, Shelly says it works, so it works.
all
So
right. I do
all right,
appreciate it, and
all
thank you
right.
so much.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Greatly appreciate you. Have a great day. Thank you
You
so much for
too.
coming on. All right, talk
All
to you
right.
later. All righty,
Bye.
bye bye. All right, guys, that was Robert. Great to have him on. Had some good stuff there. Looking forward to having him on again and talking more with Cam and everything. So, thank you all so much for watching. Had it up to almost 20 people in chat, so that was 20 views. So that was pretty cool. Hope everybody has a great day. It's pretty nice here in St. Louis. I know I said thunderstorms rolling through again sometime later on. So if anything, it seems like we've been getting storms left and right. So if anybody is in the path of any storms, be safe and take shelter if you need to. Just keep an eye on the sky. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much for joining us today on the patio. Reminder: Saturday, Krista will be at Alabama, so I will be flying solo. Possibly, I might have reach out to somebody and get somebody on here with me. So we'll have Will Lunsford on and have him talk about some of his experiences. So looking forward to seeing everybody that isn't in Alabama next Saturday at 7 o'clock Central. So until then, everybody, have a great rest of the week. Hope it goes great for you. Stay safe, and we'll see you right back here very soon. Have a good night, everybody.